we recording now?
We're recording.
Nice.
But hang on, I got to put on the earphones so that I can see if we're all on.
We're all on. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to keep my one leg up like this because my hip does not allow me to sit like that anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got a
Really?
funky hip. Yeah.
Oh, so you can't like sit like...
I mean, I can, but not for a very long time.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I can,
I just say something about this table? I recently got this table.
My knees hardly fit on the table.
And I love it because it's low. So I eat at this table.
We do.
On the floor, right?
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Daniel too. Yeah.
Daniel too.
Yeah, wait, can Daniel sit like this?
Daniel can. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's flexible.
So
But you know what, though? Isn't this part of what makes Asian people live longer?
Are you
Is the
on?
fact that we...
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah.
But the fact that Asian people are squatting or sitting on the ground and getting up and down and up and down.
Yes, they say that's why they're healthier.
Yeah.
That's one of the many reasons.
One of the many
why.
reasons why.
Right, it
It's
adds
movement,
to their
flexibility, leg strength, all of that.
Hip flexors.
Hip flexors.
Yes.
And
exactly.
going down the, it's going down the very, very primal route. It helps with elimination.
Oh. Well, speaking of which, I have a squatty potty, so
I saw it. I just
Did
went
you
to the
see it?
bathroom.
Wow.
Yeah. I was almost tempted to try to put it there and see if I could pee that way. Yeah. But I was afraid my pee would end up going all over the place.
You can test it out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We should probably do a proper introduction because we're kind of just starting.
That's more BTS stuff.
Yeah. Well, we can go there.
Yeah.
So look at this, people.
We're in the same room.
Yeah. This is not AI. This is not AI. This is real.
It's amazing.
We're
I can
actually
touch her. Look at, I can touch her.
And then we have a fourth
I can
co-host.
touch her.
Yeah.
I can touch her.
Yeah.
Hi,
Suki, my dog is joining us.
Hello.
It's an all girls club.
But
I
you
love
guys,
that she's
okay,
here.
think about this. We've been doing this show for almost 2 years, right? And
Has it been almost 2 years?
It's over 2 years because I was thinking about that today. We've done 2 Christmas episodes. So that means...
And we're just about coming on to Christmas again.
Yeah, because we're going to go do another Christmas episode, right? So
has it been over now? You're right. We have done 2 Christmas,
Christmas
episodes.
episodes.
Holy crap.
right? So it's like, again, somewhere before we do our third one, which is upcoming, it has to be in the realm of 2 years.
Yeah.
Not less
No,
than
you're
2
right.
years.
You're right. You're right. Okay, so it's been 2 years and we're coming up on our third holiday. Okay.
And this is the first time we're together in the same room.
All right, so I was just going to say,
Beside the car, beside a room.
Oh, beside the car.
The limousine is not a room.
No,
The limousine is not
and
a room.
we didn't shoot a show,
Correct.
right? So this
We
is
shot a
the
drunk
first-
episode.
We did.
I was
we
drunk.
did. We were a little drunky.
I was,
But
for
the
sure.
fact that we haven't been together to shoot a show until now is kind of remarkable.
Yeah.
So just to explain to everyone who's watching, but also listening, we're in my living room. I live in Long Beach. So these
On an
2
island.
wonderful ladies drove down to do this recording in my living room. We're sitting on the floor around my coffee table. And I think it's perfect because it's so Asian.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I think it's so perfect that we have all these donuts.
Yes.
And then we also have musubi.
That
You
Kelly
guys can-
brought.
I brought
And
musubi.
These are
made
mochi.
some-
Oh, I didn't make these. Are you kidding?
No,
me?
you just brewed the barley
Oh, the barley
the
tea.
tea.
Yes, the boricha.
Yeah, boricha.
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 And then I got these mochi donuts yesterday.
Those
at
look
the
so
market.
cute.
They're so good. This is green tea flavor. That's
Okay.
black sesame.
I'm going
This
in.
is cinnamon sugar. And this is ube.
Oh, really?
Yes. And they're so
Where do I
good.
start? I
don't
can't
know.
decide.
Just bust it open.
And they're fun because
Bust it
you can
out.
take a little ball.
Yeah,
like,
you take
they're
just
little
one
balls.
little piece, like a donut hole.
Exactly.
You could taste
Yeah,
them.
donut
Yeah.
hole size.
Exactly. They're
No, I got
delicious.
those.
But
And then what kind of
anyway.
musubi did you get? May I
Yes, I got 2.
Oh, yes.
I got 2
Salmon.
vegan, and
Oh,
then I got 2
umami.
with
Spicy
meat.
tuna.
Umami and seasoned kelp.
And spicy tuna. And then this is
and spicy tuna.
I would
And then
offer
this
you
is
guys, but I
salmon
touched it with my dirty hands.
It's all right.
Here.
No,
No. Just go for
Here,
it.
you want to
And then
cut yourself a piece?
And from May's relatives, there's
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
dates, which she says are not juicy as one would expect.
No, so fresh dates, they're almost like dry. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
like
weird.
dried pineapple.
Yeah, they're dry. They have no juice. They're very dry.
They're like the size of a
crispy,
plum,
though.
not a plum even, like a golf
They're
ball.
crispy until they start drying up. They're crispy and crunchy, but there's no juice whatsoever. It's
Should
a
I
weird-
bite into it?
Yeah,
to
try
see?
It's very surprising.
If you've never had a
Should I
fresh
take? Should I
date-
take a wrinkly one?
No. I think you should take a harder one.
No,
Yes,
this
that's-
one's got a little bit of a spot. I just won't
Okay.
eat the soft spot. That's okay.
Yeah, just try it. Just try it. You probably won't like love it, but I mean, who knows? See how it's crunchy?
Oh wow, you did get like a granule.
bad.
No, but do you mean the texture is you think
Yeah,
it's
I
going to
don't
have some juice, but it doesn't.
It has
at all.
zero juice.
It has zero juice. But as we know, dates are so good for you. That's why in Chinese herbal
Oh,
medicine,
wow.
they always put dates into the concoction, right? Because dates have a
That's
real.
super interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't associate dates as we know it with this fresh date.
No,
It's
exactly.
I
Totally
love
different.
this. This is wonderful.
Isn't it nice? I have more. You
Mm.
should take some after we're done. Seriously. Yeah.
Where'd you get this?
My sister-in-law's tree. She grows everything. She's like a freaking crazy ass gardener.
Wow.
Oh, really?
She's so good.
I'm
Like,
trying
I
to figure
kill
out what
everything
grows
she-
in Vegas.
And
Yeah. No, it's actually
No.
quite. Yeah, I have a Meyer lemon tree. That's like one of the most.
Oh, okay, lemon.
That's one of the things that grows the best. But I'm thinking of putting in what do you call that? Kalamungai, moringa tree.
What's a moringa tree?
What's a moringa?
You guys don't know what moringa
What?
is?
No.
It's supposed to be super healthy, like superfood.
What
You
is
eat
it?
the
Citrus?
leaves.
What is it?
No, you eat the leaves. There's no actual fruit on it, but the leaves itself are like super nutritious. Actually, has I think proteins
Okay,
and
I have to look
like
like moringa or
moringa.
moringa. Moringa. Oh, moringa.
Or I've never.
A lot of Filipinos
Yeah.
actually.
When you say
Have
moringa, yeah.
Kalamungai. Do you know kalamungai?
No,
I know calamansi. I love calamansi.
Yeah.
What is calamansi?
The little-
Calamansi is
it
the
looks like a little
Filipino
lime,
citrus.
But it's
Oh.
like orangey lime.
Yeah.
It has such a good flavor.
If you
Oh,
go into the Filipino market, you'll see guava juice, calamansi juice.
and I buy calamansi soup. I have it in my refrigerator.
We do too.
Oh.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And you know what's yummy? I mix the calamansi juice with the sparkling water.
Ooh.
And you
Oh, yeah.
have this refreshing,
I love
yummy
that.
drink. This is turning into a food show.
Yeah.
people.
So calamansi is the Filipino equivalent of Japanese yuzu.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
So it's that
Right.
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Can-
but moringa, I know what moringa is. Yes.
Can
It is the
somebody
plant.
help me understand how to unwrap this?
Oh.
And do the.
Do the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a trick to it.
There's a whole trick, isn't there?
Well,
I know
that's why
there's a trick.
No, there's no. You have to pull on the tab. You
What
can't
tab?
just open it like that.
You can't just open it like this.
No, there's a
Right?
You can, but you should pull on the tab.
Isn't there a
What
tab here somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes,
See
right here. Like
See,
this.
Oh, so I'm not supposed to have opened it the
No,
way I
you
just
pull on
did.
this tab.
Where it says pull.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it
Pull
allows you
They
to.
should- They should
make it
print this
clear.
red. They should print this
Yeah.
red because nobody can see the small,
Yeah,
print.
that's
So
right.
Us old
yeah.
people cannot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then
But now I've ruined it.
No, you didn't ruin it. You just have to be a little bit more careful.
Right. See, now you have to wrap it yourself. Whereas I think when you pull on the tab,
It kind of
does it for you.
See?
Here,
Show
let's
me,
see.
show me.
see.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
And
you
then-
just pull off the side?
Yeah.
Oh!
See?
Oh, so I screwed it up then.
It's
I
okay.
shouldn't have opened this.
No.
So and now see how it like unwraps and it's already
By
wrapped
itself.
for you?
Yeah.
So then you don't have to get your grubby little fingers
That's right,
all
that's
over
right.
the nori.
It should be salvageable.
It should
Just
be.
pull that.
Just
yeah.
pull this thing where it says pull.
Yeah. Take the plastic off.
Yeah, it's sort of. It's supposed to come off, and then the what he's supposed to wrap around.
There we
Yeah,
go.
see, there you
Yes.
Yes, yes.
See?
Yay!
Yay! She did
Musubi
it.
101.
There!
Yes!
It's the
It
genius.
is genius.
But
Yeah,
then you're
it
still
is.
touching it.
But you can
Yeah.
touch. Yeah, you can touch that, but
Okay.
you don't need to. Yeah, because that's how you're supposed to eat musubi, right?
With your
Unless-
fingers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can take off just one half of the plastic.
Have you not eaten breakfast?
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's
That's
fine.
fine.
But it is what I don't even. I think it's almost 12 o'clock, so it's almost lunchtime.
They had spam musubi, but I didn't buy it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a big spam fan. Sorry.
Are you not?
No, spam.
I don't
No,
eat.
I know-
I don't
I know,
eat pork
it's-
anymore.
Oh,
Sorry.
you don't eat pork anymore?
No.
Why?
I don't eat meat anymore.
What?
Wait,
What? Why
Wait,
are you guys
whoa, whoa,
surprised?
whoa, whoa.
No, I thought you were doing that for a little while, but I thought it was a phase, and then you went back to eating meat again.
No, mostly I don't eat meat.
Okay.
Every once in a while, like last night, they took me out to dinner and then they made me.
Okay, so sometimes you still
So every
eat
once
it.
in a while, I'll eat meat if
Okay.
other people force me to. But by
By
choice, I
and
don't
by
do it.
practice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even broth. Even
Yeah, even
okay.
broth.
So no eggs even?
Every once in a great while, I'll do eggs because
Okay.
also the people that I just stayed with while I was here in LA have like 12 chickens.
So
Look at you guys. So I get like these little blue eggs and green eggs.
And then
Yeah.
eggs is like
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So we're eating, we're enjoying ourselves, we're together.
Yes.
Let's talk about some stuff that has been on my mind
What?
a lot, and I wanted to talk to you ladies about this. So one is this whole. Okay, I don't want to talk too much about politics just yet, but you kind of can't help it.
What day is it today?
I know exactly. How many days do we
20
have?
days.
20 days.
20
20 days.
days.
So it can't be helped really to talk someone about politics. But the reason why I say it that way is because there's been so much conversation around women and women's issues and gender, divide, and then also women's choices or not, and older women. Does our vote even matter because we can no longer get pregnant? And
What?
should we care about abortion? This is something.
Who is saying that?
Bernie Moreno, a guy who's running for Senate,
Mhm.
a Senate seat in Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm from.
I got
Ohio,
Sherry Brown.
I gotta tell you, Ohio just keeps on
It
it just keeps on producing the strangest, most screwed up stuff.
But it's got Sherry Brown and it's got Aftab Puraval.
Yes,
So-
Aftab, Mayor of Cincinnati, who is fantastic. He will probably be president one day. You said that.
I do believe that, yeah.
I said to Tamlyn one day
Oh, wow.
after a Zoom thing. I think it was like Asian men for Kamala.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I said afterwards, I said, man, that Aftab, I've seen him before, speaking, and I'm like, he is so amazing. He's so charismatic, smart,
Yeah, compassionate.
and very compassionate
Mhm.
because he grew up in Ohio like I did.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he faced the same stuff.
Mhm.
And you said he will be president one day.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will be.
Yeah, you will be very impressed with him.
I need to look this dude up.
He's got the stuff.
He's got
He
two
really does.
wonderful wife, 2 little great kids,
Yeah.
Two? Yeah.
I think
And,
too.
Yeah, and he's just something that's really the face of the future.
So that's the good stuff coming out of Ohio, but there's a lot of bad stuff coming out of Ohio, including JD Vance. But anyway, but Bernie Moreno, this guy had said that why are liberals, and people in the Democratic Party so interested in abortion? It's like the only issue they care about. It's abortion. If you're not for abortion, then, I'm going to vote for somebody else.
Right.
So this is in a speech he was saying
Right.
in a rally. And he said, and I really don't understand why women over 50 should care because,
they're not having sex anyway.
right. They're like, so don't, and then he goes,
I'm
don't,
sorry, who says we're not having sex?
he said, don't tell my wife this.
Yep.
Well, it was because he was implying.
He's not having sex.
Well,
Yep.
he's implying that
Yep.
older women over 50, we're not having sex. And also, we shouldn't care about abortion because we can no
We're
longer
not
get
having
pregnant.
Yeah, we're not useful.
So he's like, so why are they voting anyway? Is it
Oh my
as
God.
if like after 50,
It doesn't
we have
affect
no
us.
use?
Yeah.
so why cast a ballot for something for an issue?
Then why should men
that
vote
doesn't matter?
on
Exactly.
abortion when they're not the ones having them?
That's what I said in a
Yes.
video. I was like, so men, okay, you can't get pregnant. You can't ever get pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you're the ones who are trying to tell us what to do with our bodies.
Yeah.
The irony in
Right.
that is like beyond, right? So I got very upset with that. I was also, I was already upset about the cat lady comment, about the childless educator comment,
Mhm.
that childless
About the total
educators.
denial about, January 6th.
Yeah.
About whether or not, the former president won the election.
Right, right. And so it just continues on and on. But this assault, particularly on women,
Mhm.
I just find, how is this possible that in 2024, going into an election, that we're still talking about women as if we're second-class citizens, as if our voice, our vote doesn't matter.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm like, wow. And as a childless woman, all 3 of us are childless women, okay?
Except the fur babies.
Except for, I know this one here.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about this and kind of share our perspectives about being childless women.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people make a lot of assumptions about us.
Mm-hmm.
That we're selfish, or we're doing this because we don't care about the future, or this and
Or
that.
that we're happier.
Yeah. I think some people are afraid to talk about it openly, about the various reasons why women are childless, right? And so I kind of wanted to just have this time to like talk, because I don't think we've ever had this conversation.
I mean, sometimes it's a choice and sometimes it's not a choice,
Right,
unfortunately.
that's what I'm saying.
And that's really rude to the women who want to have children and cannot have children.
That's right.
I mean, if we're bothered by these comments, they must be horrified. Right?
Yeah, and so hurt, right?
Yes.
Because they've been trying to have children and they cannot.
Yeah.
And now they're being assaulted, for not having
For
kids.
not being able to.
Right.
For not being able, they're criminalized.
Exactly. So, for me, the reason why I'm childless is because, for a while I was very focused on my career, and I moved from country to country as a journalist, right? I went from, the States to Tokyo to Hong Kong, back to the States, and then back to Singapore, and then back to the States.
Which is also not conducive to being married.
No, it isn't. And therefore, that's why I've never been married, right?
Right. I mean, unless you have a husband that can move all around and just do his work whatever country
but
he's
here's
in.
the thing, as a woman,
that's rare.
We do have to make those choices more than men do because of the
Traditional
biological clock thing.
And the biological,
right?
Yes.
And, we have to work a lot harder in our careers than men do. Sorry, guys, that's
the truth.
That's just a fact, right? And in journalism, certainly we had to. I just finished Connie Chung's book.
Yay, Connie.
And I was just
her.
blown away because I just saw so many parallels in her experience with mine in terms of being in the media at that time. I was like 20 years behind her, right? And so she was totally the trailblazer and pioneer.
Paving the way.
But she really definitely was very honest about how difficult it was as a woman, right? And so she then tried to have kids later in life, and she couldn't. She couldn't have her own biological
And she's
children.
Connie Chung.
And she's Connie Chung. So, but going back to, this sort of conversation is that, I wanted to. I thought it might happen at some point. I just assumed, someday I'll have a kid. And it just didn't happen, right? And then the time ran out. The clock ran out for me. I thought about adoption for a little while on my own because I wasn't with anyone. But I realized, I don't think I can do that on my own. So because I was very conscious
Especially not living alone in California where it's so expensive.
But just as a single parent, I was like, do I have it in me? And I wanted to be very responsible. I didn't look at a child as like a toy.
Of course not.
I mean, it's like a human being. So I wanted to be really responsible about it. And so therefore I kind of talked myself out of it. I'm like, I can't do that either.
Right.
Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be capable. Right.
Right. Well, I saw my mom struggle to raise two kids by herself. When she got divorced, she had no help from my dad. And,
how old was she when she was divorced, and how old were you?
Like 37, I think, when she got divorced.
Okay.
I was like 6 when they separated.
Got it.
Actually, the divorce took a couple of years. So maybe she was 38 by the time they got divorced. But anyway, I did not want to be like my mother, a single mom struggling to raise kids by herself. Yeah. That was my worst nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah. An experience.
And so not having the right partner, because that is so important to have the right partner to do this with.
Yeah,
it's hard, even if you do have the right partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then if you're doing it with the wrong partner, it makes it even that much harder.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing it by yourself, it's crazy. I don't know how women do it. I say that all the time. I have so many girlfriends who are single moms, and I just don't know how they do it.
I mean, those are super women.
Those are the superheroes of our real life.
Right.
But I see them struggle with all of that, and I just don't want to be in that grouping.
No, that makes sense from your own experience. Yeah. And Tam, were you somebody who thought was...
No, you said it earlier. I am admittedly selfish. There's no way I can compare to the raising of 3 kids like my mother did. And my mother and father were together for the whole of their lives. And so my father passed away pretty prematurely. He passed away at the age of 51.
My gosh.
Yeah, so we were all in our 20s. But, and then my mom... because we were already adults, so we were already on our own.
Yeah.
I just don't think that I could have raised, kids just like she did, being an immigrant mom. My father's American and American born and raised, but my mother came with no sense of English, no sense of the economic, not in economic policy. How do you write a check?
Right.
How do you go to the bank? How do you go shopping? So it was very different for her.
So you guys immediately had to become the parent to your mom.
Not exactly become a parent, but just become a caretaker and guardian. But she was always living on her own, living at home. I lived with my mom until I was in my 30s.
Oh, really?
But then I was also with somebody and I was splitting time and then started moving. It was just a natural kind of thing.
Right.
And I just never felt that yearning, the biological clock ticking, or say, I want kids. I never had that. And each partner, each level of my life, I had that. I got to tell you pretty much up front, I don't want kids, so I just need to, set you up for that.
Okay. Did you ever have partners who said, okay, then I can't be with you?
No.
Because they wanted.
No. Yeah. But there was one, but again, we still did get married, and because I've been married twice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the defining issue.
Okay.
But it was an issue, but it was just something I will tell you, should I want kids?
Yeah.
And there was never that idea of wanting to adopt either. I have a bunch of blood nieces and nephews, and I have a bunch of daughters and sons that I claim through my friends and family.
Yeah.
And it's just about being able to have that time to serve those kids who have been
mentor.
Blessed into this world.
Look, I think when Oprah did her special with Kamala Harris, and Tracy Ellis Ross joined in the conversation, and she's a wonderful independent actress. She's very vocal, right?
Yeah.
And she's childless as well. She was just saying, when you say that childless women have no purpose, it's like, she's like, how many of us are, godmothers and to our friends and to our nieces and nephews, and how many of us have been mothering in other ways,
mentoring young women
as an educator. It's like I've had hundreds of kids now, through my classes.
Absolutely.
And so she's like, just because you don't push a baby out into the world doesn't mean we're not pushing forward, the next generation. She said it much more eloquently, but that's true too. It's just like we've been mothers and aunties to so many different young people, some of whom are probably watching and listening as we speak.
Yeah. And everybody says, "Oh, she's such the cool auntie."
Yeah,
and it's like so. That's what I aspire to.
Me
try
too.
To be. And then also just on the flip side, it's like when people wrestle, and they say uncle. I always associate that word uncle with I give up.
Oh,
so it's like it's like of course they're wonderful role model uncles, but then it's like everybody they praise their aunties, if not their mother and their fathers.
That's true.
It's their aunties, but not as much do I hear. I credit my uncle. It's like I always associate uncle with I give up, tap out. Okay, I guess that word comes from. For some reason.
Yeah.
So we've all made choices not to have children.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with our career. Correct. So what I do is I tell young women who are in their 20s and 30s, especially if they're in their 30s, I tell them, freeze your eggs or embryos.
Yes. Yeah.
Make that investment. Mm-hmm. It costs a lot of money. But if you want to buy time, there's not a lot of ways in the world that you can buy time.
Yeah.
If you want to, or if you even think you might want to have children.
One iota.
Exactly. Freeze your eggs.
That's a great idea.
Freeze your embryos if you already know, because embryos actually freeze better if you already have a partner. And
because they say the success rate of a frozen egg versus a frozen embryo is pretty stark. I think a frozen egg is like 20-something% or 30%. A frozen embryo is over 60% success rate.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I may have the numbers wrong, but I know that it's a very big difference.
Right.
Very big difference.
Right.
So that's a piece of information.
So now it's startling that some of these states or some of these conservatives are trying to go after embryos too.
Well, today the Orange Cheeto said he's the father of IVF.
Oh yes, he did. I saw that. I'm the father of IVF.
What does he mean by that?
Who the fuck? He's saying the craziest stuff. Listen, this is a fact. As a journalist, I'm just stating fact. He is saying some really crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
There is something going on in his brain.
I saw something about him just dancing around for like
39 minutes.
What was that
It was
about?
supposed to be a town hall. Supposed to be a town hall
yeah.
in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be, taking questions. He took a few,
Yeah.
but then he's like, you know what? No more questions. No more questions. Let's turn on the music. They started playing things like YMCA and Ave Maria.
And Ave Maria twice.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
And he just stood on stage
And danced and swayed.
for 39 minutes.
Yeah.
And people started.
Were people not giving him the hook and saying, maybe this...
because they
he's,
can't.
Yeah. Because
this is where he is truly
he's
like a
cult
dictator, kind
He's
of
the
like
cult
you
leader.
can't say.
What was the reaction of the people in the room?
They were
The
leaving.
audience.
They were leaving,
They were leaving.
and you could see the persons on the stage. Their
'Cause they can't
faces
leave.
are frozen.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do.
And they're
Right.
just
Even Chrissy Noel,
Yeah.
she's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go shoot another dog.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like
her
you
face
can
is
see-
frozen, and
Yeah.
she's just waiting for somebody to
to
say
do something.
them.
And nobody did anything
No.
for 39
39
minutes?
You can
minutes.
watch it the whole thing.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
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 So this is where we're at in terms of these ludicrous things that are being said, Unfortunately, again, this is stating fact. I'm not saying anything that's fiction or fake news.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly Republicans are saying these things about women and what we should and should not be doing, and then trying to restrict our choices, and even going now against IVF for, where they're saying they're pro-life. And when women are trying to have a baby, they're now saying, no, you can't
Right.
use this.
Right.
So,
And
what are
you're
you supposed to believe?
useless, so you should be voiceless.
So you should
Right.
vote.
And if you're pro-life, take care of our foster care
Exactly.
system.
Oh, yeah, once they're born, we don't care about them.
Yeah.
That's again,
Exactly.
hypocrisy. Yeah,
Exactly. If you are forcing women to have unwanted children,
Then
take care of the foster care system
Yeah, because
before
there's
you
no
start doing that.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. If we turned it on men, do you think they would agree to something like that? There's no way they would agree to something like that.
Right?
There's no way they would agree to a law that controlled their bodies. You're right? And
Right.
restricted what they could do with their bodies. That's why I think, how is this possible? They're clearly, they don't care,
Mhm.
and it's only about power and money
Mhm.
that they're clinging on to, and that's what's so this is so disappointing to me in terms of, again, going back to the gender divide in this election. The latest polls show that Harris is ahead by something like 10 points when it comes to female votes,
Mhm.
and Trump is ahead by 9 or 10 points when it comes to male
Because of
votes.
male votes,
Right.
Oh.
So to me, and maybe this is extreme, I would love to know what you guys think. To me, that says, even though we're in the year 2024, more men feel like women's issues are, our right to exist and be equal is just not that important.
Oh no, it's just not the
that
reinforcement of being second class citizens.
Yeah.
Because we're just merely women.
Right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
God, are we still there?
Yeah.
We're still
Because
there.
it's reinforced by the Orange Cheeto and so many of the single fans who believe in the same thing, that women are our partners who are below us, who serve us,
Right.
who cater to us,
And
who take
we
care
can
of house and home.
we can kind of give them some things that like seemingly seem equal.
Here's a bit of money, honey.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
yourself pretty. Make yourself
Okay, we'll
feel
give you a
good.
little
Yeah.
promotion here, but
No.
that's about as far
As
we're gonna
equals, no.
Yeah,
No.
and that's what's so shocking, man. Like, and even after knowing everything we know about Donald Trump, everything he's done and everything he continues to say that he'll do, I still can't believe that the race is this close.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see in
Yeah.
the days, because I'm not going to say we'll find out November 5th or the evening of November 5th.
I don't think we will.
Yeah, it'll be in the days after,
Probably.
because I think there will be a lot of interesting,
Yeah.
shall we say, sets of circumstances which will follow.
Yeah,
And of course, if he loses, there's going to be another uprising,
yeah, most likely.
right?
Most
He's
likely,
already didn't he already promise that?
Yeah, he promised to bring out the military if he had to and all of that. So yeah.
Wait, but he doesn't control the military. How's he going to do that?
Oh, who knows? It's all in his head, right? But I mean, but look,
What he says goes in
Yeah.
his head. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but okay. So going back to this mother,
Childless cat ladies,
dog ladies and
yeah.
childless educators and women over 50 and all of that stuff. You know, I will admit, and this is something I also wanted to talk to you ladies about. There is a part of me, even though like you, Tamlyn, I never had this maternal tug, you know, as a woman and as a young woman. I never, you know, I had friends around me who was like, oh my God, I can't wait to be a mother, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. And I never felt that.
Yeah.
I just thought it would happen just because that's the way you're supposed to do it.
I think it would just, you know, you're
just supposed to have a kid, right? At some point, especially as an Asian, you know, we have a little bit more of a conservative leaning when it comes to family and all of that.
Did your mom put any pressure on you?
Yeah.
In the beginning, she put pressure on me definitely to get married.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She gave up on that long time ago. Kids, interestingly enough, she never really specifically mentioned
Mine
that.
Neither.
Yeah.
Mine mom never.
Mine
yeah.
neither.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and I should ask her why, but marriage, yes, kids, no.
My mom and I actually talk about this. And she said, well, you know, I didn't have a choice. It was sort of what everyone was doing.
Wow.
The expectation.
Yeah. And she's like, if I had a choice, I might have made a different choice. But she felt like she didn't.
Right.
I mean, she could have gone against the grain and done it. But you know, I think she just felt too pressured, like, you know, everybody, because my mom is also one of these people who always worries about what other people are thinking, right?
Yeah.
What other people are going to say. Maybe now she's less that way because she's a bit older. But I think that there are a lot of women out there who still feel as though, you know, in society, they wouldn't be accepted in whatever grouping they're
with.
Yeah,
okay. I'm glad you said that because it was what I was kind of going towards. I will confess, there are still moments when I feel a little less than.
Get out!
Yeah,
really?
I know. This is why this is confession time right now for me. Okay, Sudhi, you're totally getting wrapped in my headphones. Oh my God, she's totally ripping my headphones off. Okay, here we go.
She's saying, I'm your kid.
I know she is. But, so I think it's because we still have those societal norms, you know, and the structure that still exists.
And no judgment, because again, you're at a certain age and
you
should be, I'm quoting, you know, air quote, you should be over it. But it's, again, this is a vulnerable
it still is.
point
It still is. And so sometimes I wonder, like, wow, you know, I've had this fantastic career, but it's like, but I see these women around me. And again, I hate doing the comparison thing. It's a horrible thing to do, right?
You can't help it.
You can't help it. And I see these women around me who are successful, who have kids, who are married, and did this. And I'm like, God dang, how do they do it? And I'm like, I've just had a career. I know this is my negative voice speaking out loud right now because I'm trying to be honest with everyone. I'm like, I just have a career. Like it's nothing. That's it. That's what I've done. I didn't raise kids. I didn't do this. And it makes me feel bad sometimes. It does. And then when these fucking guys say this shit, it makes me feel worse.
Yeah.
It does. It makes me feel worse and I have to snap out of it. But I have to say, sometimes there's a personal side to me that's like, wow, you know, I kind of wish I had kids and that would have been nice, but I missed my opportunity. And I'm like, and I look around and I'm like, all these other people did it. I'm like, what happened?
Well, you know? I have a girlfriend and I asked her specifically, I said, you know, you have this amazing career and you have these children and you're doing it by yourself.
By herself.
And I said, how do you do it? And she says, I don't do it well. And I said, what do you mean? And she says, I don't do either job very well.
Oh boy. Okay. That's
because
honest.
she was so honest with me. And it almost brought me to tears because she was so vulnerable in saying that.
And so does she have a lot of guilt about that?
Absolutely. Right? And who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Right?
Right.
I think even men have guilt about not spending time with their children.
Yeah, I think they do. Probably not as much as women, but yes, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. You know, and I don't think anybody is on their deathbed thinking, oh, I'm so glad I spent all those hours in the office.
No, God, no. Never. That's like the last thing you think of.
Exactly.
Right?
Everybody on their deathbed wishes that they had spent more time with their loved ones.
Family, friends.
Or
life experiences.
More life experiences. Or
Yes.
calling old friends, you know, people that they had known. Like, it's relationships.
Yes, for sure.
Right? That
for
people miss.
Yeah.
And so when you're just existing, barely scraping by, trying to raise your kids and have a career at the same time, I can imagine the guilt that must go on.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. And I so appreciate a woman like that who's
Right?
honest about it, right?
Yeah.
Because I think so many people, you know, every day we try to put on this facade of like, oh, everything's great. Look at our perfect lives on Facebook, on Instagram, and all of that.
I hate that.
I do.
You don't hear the vulnerable stories.
You don't.
Yes.
You don't hear the truth. You don't hear the truth.
Everything
We all
looks
want
so
to hear
perfect and
success
beautiful.
stories because that's supposed to be inspirational.
Exactly.
But it's not truly, you know, an authentic picture of
And
who
that's
we are as humans.
that's why I wanted to have this conversation because I wanted people to know it's like, you know what? Yeah, we made our choices, but it's also sometimes I don't have regret. I don't, because I don't believe in regret because there's nothing you can do about it. But I do think about, you know, what if?
The whataboutism.
What if?
So,
Yeah. What if I had done this?
You know what I always think about is, as somebody who's never had a child, will I ever know what it's like to love on that level?
I think about
Does that mean that I'm not experiencing life
because
as deeply as somebody who has had
How
children?
many times have you heard a parent say, I've never felt a love like this?
Everyone says that,
Everyone
right?
says
I mean,
that,
if they're in the right mind.
Especially a woman who's had her child, like bore her child, right?
Right.
I've never felt a bond or love like this.
But even though I'm going to go a little bit more deeper, men will never feel that because they didn't bear the children.
That's true.
That's true. There's something associative in my brain.
They'll feel it differently.
They'll feel it differently.
Yeah, but they still feel the love. I'm sure a lot of men.
But again, it's the physical association with birthing,
having
carried somebody for that long of a period, and the pain and the process.
Right.
Yes, for fathers, absolutely. I'm never going to deny that. But there's even that one more step, that one more depth level for women,
right?
In particular.
Right.
So I do feel that, but again, it's mathematical for me. The depth of having that one child, or how many children a woman is blessed to have. I think we are blessed to have the love of so many other children on another level. I think it's because we have more time because we are childless, but we have more time and love and commitment to give to the children that we do know, that we did not, physically bear.
That's true. That's true.
You guys both work with so many young people. Like,
I mean, that's what I do love about being a professor is that the contact with youth and really being able to have an impact. Right. And they do look at me as like the cool professor, the cool auntie type. They don't look at me as a maternal figure, which is nice. So I can connect with them on a different level. I mean, that's why, like Oprah, she admittedly says, you know, I never actually wanted to have children because I knew I had a different purpose. She said, I knew I had a different purpose. I knew I wouldn't be a biological mother, have a biological child, but I would use myself as a maternal figure.
Right. And what she's done for so many women and men who used to watch her show and the things that we learned.
Right.
I mean, and that's really was.
That's what Kamala Harris says. You know, she has her stepchildren, right? And she's been blasted for not having children, blah, blah, blah. But it's like,
who can do that? That's just so rude.
The running mate of the Republican candidate can do that. Yes. Yeah. So again, I think, you know, when these discussions arise and these attacks are made, I really wish people would take more into account, you know, how deep that goes for a lot of women, you know, and what that means in terms of either pain or distress or regret or, you know, shame or any of that, right? I mean, it is something that people can't just dismiss.
It not only goes as far as just, you know, being childless cat ladies or dog ladies who were lucky to have a partner. There are also single women who choose not to have a partner in life as well.
And
it's like, again, it's like
all the single ladies.
The more time that you have to give, you know, to yourself, and then the more time you have to give to others who are so blessed to be in your circles. It's like It all mathematically equals out.
Yeah.
It's just that, the other side, what I call the gross old party, the GOP. because again,
Wow.
the Republican platform, of course, there's always going to be Republicans and Democrats. It's the fucking gross old party who is really putting on this oppressive,
Backwards.
fascist,
Very fascist.
But you think of them as being a bunch of old white men, but it's not.
No, it's all persons who are traditionalists who want to go back to a period of time that they know because they're afraid of change of going forward.
Yeah.
So I was talking to a bunch of friends of mine that I was having dinner with last night. We all went out for sushi, and a bunch of them are Republicans.
Yeah.
And they are not like, old fashioned, like what you would think. A lot of them are saying that they're voting with their pockets, that they're voting because they think that he's going to be better for the economy.
Take a look at the plan.
Or the border crisis.
Oh, my God.
So many people, one of my friends was saying, all of these illegals get medical care and they're being taken better care of. They get free housing and medical, and they're being better taken care of than our own citizens. And, so that's where that mentality is going.
And I don't think about the fact that he put the kibosh on the bill that would have controlled the border, right? Because he didn't want a win for the election. So they don't think about that, do they?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't think about how the economy was kind of in the shithole when Trump was president. And he inherited a very healthy economy from Obama. Then he took it down the drain and increased the deficit, only cut taxes for the rich, and that's about all he did. Right. So I don't understand this argument.
Well, because they're not listening to the same news that you and I are listening to.
And that's the problem too. Of course, our media, as a member of the media, is so divided, and it's so...
We should all blame it on social media.
Well,
and the strength of journalism. We need to find persons who are trustworthy, who can be able to tell the truth.
So I was having a very interesting conversation at a gala that I went to over the weekend, and there was this British couple there visiting from London. So we're talking about, media and journalism. And I said, so how's the BBC going? Right? Because the BBC is known as, a very powerful media organization, but it's public, so that it's supposed to be very neutral, it's supposed to be very solid journalism, right?
Right.
And that's what I always believe and still do, until I spoke to this couple, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's not what it used to be. And I'm like, what do you mean? And
they work for BBC.
No, they're just Londoner. They live in London.
Oh, yeah.
And so they said, well, it's actually become a little bit biased as well. And they said, the news and the journalism is still solid, but now they're so woke. They're overly woke. And I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Overly woke?
I said, what do you mean by that? He's like, he said, they're now so fearful about offending anyone that they won't take, he didn't say sides. He said they're not as bold with their journalism in terms of doing kind of like really investigative stuff that might rub people the wrong way.
Got it.
Right?
And
I was like,
but truth shouldn't rub anyone the wrong way.
If it's the truth, sometimes truth hurts.
Sometimes truth hurts a lot,
right?
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing this division and this, separation in media, because people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear their version of the truth.
Correct.
Right. And that's a really scary thing.
Yeah.
And this is why I try to get a lot of my news from The Economist, because it's not just one person writing the article. It's like groups of people, coming together. And you think that way there's like a little bit less bias.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seems that The Economist is very leftist now as well. So
it can be. It depends on who's writing the articles. Yeah.
Right.
But, look.
That's my daily news.
We just had, Trump just did a Q&A with Bloomberg in Chicago.
Oh, that's right.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday?
I think it was over the weekend.
And you would think that would favor him, right?
Wait, it was the editor-in-chief interviewing him, and he's a brilliant guy. Okay, he knows the economy. And Trump couldn't answer the question, one way or another. But
he's the one who's supposed to save the economy.
Yeah,
according to the
Republicans,
Republicans,
he couldn't answer
right?
the questions properly whatsoever. And this guy was dancing around because he was like asking very, very specific questions about the economy and no answer. But the crowd was completely behind Trump.
Okay.
And these are investors and economists and, people who are in business.
Yes, of course.
And that shocked me a little bit too, but I was like, wow, it really is just about money, isn't it?
It really is.
It really is.
If I'm a rich person, I'm going to look for Trump to give me my tax cut.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, so circling back to the women thing though, this is my hope, is that because women have been under attack now for a while, due to these elections and the issues, I do feel like women, even somewhat conservative women, may go into the booth on election day or fill out their ballots privately.
Early voting.
And kind of do their own thing. And
you
not
think?
tell their husband, not tell, whatever, their golf club or, and just finally just make a decision, realizing.
As to voting for who they believe is most like them.
Yeah.
In terms
and
of
have
character.
Values and character that will save, what we believe in as women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of, because of this gender divide we're seeing in the polls, I'm kind of thinking, we're 50% of the population.
I was thinking that what was going on with all of this abortion stuff, that more young women were going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
And as they should, because they're the ones who are being affected, right? Who knows where they're going to live after they go to college?
We don't care.
Or where they go to college. I mean, imagine my niece is going to go to college next year.
Yep.
What if she ends up in a state where abortion is banned?
1 in 3.
You know, I mean, that's a little scary.
Yeah.
I'm doing this thing on social media called The Insider's Guide to Life. And this week I'm talking about boys and men. And I talked about male fragility and male toxicity. Right. And so those two things combined are creating what we're seeing right now, is that male toxicity is about like being overly masculine and I'm the alpha, the chest beating, right? Yeah. Then the male fragility though, throw that in the mix, because male fragility comes from women gaining more independence, and being sort of obviously wanting more equality, right?
Equalizing,
and so they're feeling fragile because they're losing their power.
Yeah. And thus being called beta males, or in stupid, the advisor to the Orange Cheeto, beta males. It's like, no,
what did he say?
He mispronounced beta.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Like a beta fish?
So there's alpha males, and apparently to a lot of the population, there's beta males, which are less than, they're not as, macho guys.
Right.
But the advisor to Orange Cheeto called them beta males. And I go, what? Do you even know what the fuck you're talking about? And I would like to uplift and support better males.
I like that. Bravo. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
that's a natural evolution.
It's exactly. I think it's the evolutionary process that's taking place. Women are continuing to evolve, but some men don't want that to be happening.
Can I just?
They don't want.
And
that.
I'm going to totally out myself here.
What?
And this is one of the reasons why I date younger guys.
Oh, because they're more.
Because younger men have been taught a little bit more.
That's right.
Been raised with
practice.
This idea of equality and respecting
how are you
women.
Feeling about this? Or
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just feel that younger men, even if you're not going to go into numbers.
Look at this.
I know, right?
But I'm just saying,
how young can Kelly Who go?
But I just say,
no judgment, no judgment.
But you guys,
just like go for it.
But I'm just saying that's what I find attractive.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is somebody who actually respects me,
Correct.
who treats me as an equal.
And the more time they've had to say, exactly, it's like to see you as an equal. Because the men who we've grown up with are still back in the day, and it's like, we're going to go do this. It's like
Mad Men era, right? That's that, right?
Yeah.
But not your Daniel.
And
not Andre.
Not Andre,
And because I think
they're both age appropriate.
Yes.
Well, good for you.
We're lucky.
No, but it is one of those things where I feel like.
But they're hard to find.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Don't worry, Kelly. You'll find some.
You don't need to find anybody.
That's the thing. That's the beauty.
Yeah. If she wants, she'll get.
Okay, wait. I have a question though.
Oh.
She brought this up last week when we were recording with Tamlyn.
Yeah.
Tamlyn.
I totally woke up late. I go, what?
I know.
What did I say?
But we didn't say it on the show. We were talking about her gray hair, her silver hair, right? And you were mentioning, you like the look of mine, and I was like, I love yours too, and of course,
I love yours, yeah.
And when Tamlyn walked in today to the house, I'm like, God, Tamlyn, your hair looks so good. It's so shiny. So, but you said the younger guys want you to dye your hair back.
Not guys who I have dated, obviously.
Okay, but you said younger
but
men.
I get comments from younger men
saying
that I should color my hair.
Yeah, see that I don't like about the younger guys saying that to you.
Mm.
What did they give you a reason why?
I think because they think that it just makes me look old.
I think it's so beautiful. It's
right?
Like, it's like natural light.
But you know what? I don't think they understand is that I don't care that I look old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're assuming that all women don't want to look older.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so therefore they're just projecting that saying, oh yeah, of course you don't want to look older.
Right.
Because that's our culture.
Right. I'm actually doing
so interesting.
I'm doing an appearance in Paris next week.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
I know.
I'm so excited.
By the way, that photo is so hot.
Is it?
It's beautiful.
I didn't choose it. I didn't choose it.
I don't know.
It's so good. That's a great thing.
I know. It's like hot.
My friends are like commenting like, "Oh, that's such a French pose. Like, you don't give a shit about anything."
Yes, it's good. Yeah, totally. Anyway, okay, so tell us.
So I was asked by somebody involved with this event if I would dye my hair.
No.
Isn't that so funny? It was an older man.
Is it a Parisian event or a French event?
It is. It wasn't somebody who was actually French, but he was shocked that I was not going to color my hair for this event.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So what did you say? You're like,
do you not see
how gorgeous
this is?
My God.
I think he thought because it was such a big event and the people are going to be paying so much money and there's a big black tie thing, and in order for me to look beautiful on the red carpet at this event, that I would have to dye my hair.
Dude, fuck you.
How old this guy is? I'm just curious.
He's about our age.
For any man to have the small balls to ask that question,
I think he just doesn't get it.
He totally doesn't get it.
Like,
also doesn't get how fucking rude that is to say.
Right?
So what did you?
Because he said one of the male guests is going to dye his hair.
Okay, that's
because
even
we know
funnier.
how fragile that.
Oh my God, that's even funnier.
Is.
But I agreeing to dye his hair.
He wanted to.
Dude.
He wanted to dye his hair for that event to make himself look younger. But also, what people don't understand is a guy's hair is only like a couple of inches long. Yep. If he dyes his hair, it only takes him a couple of months to grow that out.
Right, totally.
For us, it's years.
Yeah.
Our hair is long, and it takes forever to finally grow this back out again.
No, but the fact that the guy even asked you to
isn't that amazing?
Yeah. See, here we are.
Yeah.
What are we talking about this entire show?
Yeah.
It's
shame on you, shame on that man, shame on that man.
The standards that are imposed on women, oftentimes by men.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't
he was shocked. He
anything.
didn't understand why I wouldn't do it.
He was shocked.
He was shocked that I would go to this event with gray hair.
Because once again, he's probably thinking, why wouldn't you want to look younger?
Right.
You're a woman. Why wouldn't you want to look younger?
Yeah.
And then there's another woman who's coming, and he's like, well, her hair, she's doing her hair, but she's blonde, and that's a choice. If she wants to be blonde and do her hair, and you know what I mean, that's her choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's not my choice.
Right.
And if I wanted to have black hair, I would have black hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would be your choice. Yeah.
But our choices are being questioned because
yes.
it's like weird. Because again,
because people are just not used to it.
No,
and they think that there's so much used to it. That's true, right?
Oh, is that Hawaiian?
Tutu. Yeah.
But good for you. It's like, oh my God.
But everybody assumes that you want to be younger.
Yeah. It's true. No. Well, especially in this town.
Right.
I mean, you guys are in Hollywood, so I would imagine that you probably hear that constantly.
But I think there's value in us being our age, looking our age, acting our age.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're being able to surprise persons to be looking like this and just having the youthfulness and the spirit and the spark, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, going back to the childless thing, they do, a lot of older childless women do say the reason why they stayed younger and live longer is because they have children. I mean, I've just heard that a lot. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Well, actually, my uncle who lived to 92, he nary had a white hair on his head. because he didn't have kids.
Oh.
But he had 17 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot of Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't dye your hair because it's beautiful. I mean,
I'm not going
you
to.
go to that event and you look as hot as possible, like, which is not, difficult.
And tell that guy on the podium is like, the audacity.
Is he going to be there? He's going to be
Yeah,
there.
he's going to be there.
He's probably one of the organizers.
Yeah. No. Don't no dyeing. And I think more women should consider embracing the silver locks because that's who you are, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Wear it with pride.
Wear it with
sister.
pride. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to chat about before we end our little in-person session? I can't believe we're doing this, but I still can't believe we're here.
I know. I can't wait for this to end so I can dig into all of this.
I know. These are so good.
The ube is so good.
Did you try it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that's why
they're all good. But I'm so glad we finally did this.
Yes.
It's kind of amazing.
I feel so accomplished.
I know.
Why does it feel like such a task to get us in the same room?
Okay,
because you're a Nevada resident now.
Yeah, and also it's like getting the three of us together is like herding cats. I'm telling you, people, because I'm the one who usually tries to schedule these things.
Yeah.
And even when we do it virtually, it's like
It's still hard.
No, I'm traveling. No, I'm
between
doing
all of our schedules.
Yeah. So the fact that the three of us are in person in one location doing this,
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. Yeah. Personal jinx.
What did you just say?
Coke pinch slush.
Coke pinch slush.
Oh no, you know what I used to say?
That's a Hawaiian thing.
Oh,
I learned that from one of my Hawaiian.
Coke pinch slush. I've never heard that.
I used to say, personal jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Why does Coke have anything to do with any
I
of
don't
this?
know. I don't know. Yeah, it's from the 60s.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, So we're gonna try to do this again. So we got to figure out when you're back in LA. You're here now, but you're going back to Vegas today.
I am going back. I'm
To
driving
help
back.
your mama.
Yeah.
Help your mama.
Yeah. Oh, I took my mom to her first concert ever.
Which one?
Oh, I have to thank Tina Guo, who is this amazing cellist. I know you play the cello, right? She is this super rock star cellist, and she plays on tour with Hans Zimmer.
Oh, wow.
And she gave my mom and I tickets. She offered me tickets to come and see her. And when they were playing in Vegas, and I told her I was going to take my mom. So I asked my mom if she would be interested in going.
Okay.
And my mom said, I've never been to a concert.
What? Like any concert? No. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Maybe you want to cry.
Did she love it?
Yes, she did. She loved it. But there was a point where I was bopping my head and I was kind of to the music. And she looked at me, she goes, what are you doing? How come you're moving like that? And I was like, I'm feeling the music.
Oh my
and
gosh,
she was like,
didn't know. She
oh.
didn't
That breaks
Isn't
my heart.
doesn't it? It made me so sad to think,
wow.
For her life. I didn't even know that she had never been to a concert. And then she went, because my friend Adam Pliska came with us, because he's also a friend of Tina. And she told Adam, now I know what Kelly's been going to all these years.
It's okay. So it's going to expound on it because of social media. Because we have the world literally at our fingertips with the phones.
Yeah,
we are being able to interact with so many people in a split second around the world, multiple times. But what's missing is the interaction of what it means to be sitting next to somebody. That's why we're just so celebratory of being able to be here in person because we're feeling each other's energy.
Exactly.
We're talking over each other.
Yeah, right.
It's this connectivity.
That's right.
That is undeniable between human beings.
Yeah.
Social media, and that's all great. Streaming, that's all great. But when you're in a room, and that's what it's hitting me. Your mom has never been in a room where music is going on
with a bunch
and
of
where
other
people are just energized and however it feels literally in their hearts and their souls and then their bodies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And it's just, the energy
is so different.
It's just unperceptible, but you feel it. It's like the electricity, the energy in the room, the spirituality.
Yes.
And having your mom not experience that until now, which she has for once in her life, and maybe she'll go, well, I don't know about this, I don't know, maybe I should have seen Whitney Houston or whoever.
She was a big fan of Andy Williams.
Oh yeah,
my mother.
She's gone to see his show, but she's never been to a concert.
A concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely
Different.
vibes.
So again, for her to, and then to
And it was
witness
at
with her
T-Mobile.
daughter.
It was at T-Mobile, which was a giant venue. She never even knew, like, she had never been in T-Mobile. She'd never been in a venue like that.
Yeah.
You know, with thousands of people are watching.
Spontaneity is like,
Right,
like,
yes. People, like, standing up and applauding, and, you know, that she's just never...
But the fact that she looked over at you and wondering why you were popping your head.
Yeah, but then that's just a mom thing. That's just a mom thing, but then...
I think she thought I was, like, stroking out or something.
But then, she understood this is what Kelly's been attending all these years.
Right?
So
like, she gets it.
And her world just expanded a little bit.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
I love that. Yeah.
I know. Thank you, Tina.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Tina. Okay, I just remembered a question I needed to ask you before we end the show.
Yeah.
What's going on with Joy Luck Club 2?
No.
Your co-star, Rosalind, she spilled the beans on the red carpet like a month ago.
Well, look at her, so tight-lipped.
Okay, can we just tell you something about Tamlyn Tomato? She is so tight-lipped about stuff. Like, she doesn't spill the beans about anything. She can hold a secret. Look at her.
Yeah.
Look at that face. What? Okay, I'm taking that as a yes. Because she was very open about it. She said, I read the script and it made me cry. And then she said you guys were all going to be on a Zoom call the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
And
I'm trying to be the reporter.
I know.
Okay.
So we did all read the script, and it made us cry.
Really? Oh my God! See, it's
so you're not giving us any more information than we already know. She's just confirming. She's confirming.
I'm getting chills right now.
Are you?
Yeah, I am, because I just love the first one so. I'm getting choked up right now because that movie fucking made me like cry so hard.
All of us.
So hard.
Because there was somebody that all of us could relate to.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yeah. So if this script made you cry, then that means it's really good.
Who's writing it?
Really?
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to tell us off camera.
Anything.
Okay.
Okay, well, all right. She's going to tell us off camera. We're going to talk recording. Okay, all right.
Spike your tea.
That's the question I wanted to ask, but we're gonna expound on this after we stop recording. Okay, this was fabulous. Thanks, Sugi, for being the fourth co-host.
Yes.
So everyone, just please follow us on social media on Instagram. It's Shoes Off Inside NKT. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. And we always want to hear from you. We get comments each time from our followers and viewers. So
I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of comments.
Yeah. We always get a marriage proposal or two. That's pretty common. And
the single lady.
They only do it because they know that I'm not interested. I'm safe.
Okay, but until next time, and now we're gonna have a private conversation about things off the record. So thanks for watching, everyone, and listening. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, Suki.